Hi, my name's Caroline Venter. I'm the head of Glamorgan Music School. With our theory courses coming up, I thought it was a good idea to start teaching you guys the odd bits of music theory and to go over the basics that some people, even if they've been learning an instrument for a while, can still struggle with. So today we're going to be talking about reading the treble clef. Now the treble clef is this symbol that you often find at the beginning of music. And what it does is it shows you which note to play when. The lines that music is written on is called the stave. And whereabouts on the stave that the notes sit is which note to play. Every note has its own unique place. And looking at where they are and relating that to your instrument can help you read music fluently and easily. With the music in the treble clef, we have some little rhymes that we use to help us remember which note lives where. For the spaces, we tend to say face for the space, because in those 4 spaces on the stave, the notes are F, A, C and E that spell out the word face. For the lines, it's a little bit trickier. We have E, G, B, D, F, and everyone has their own little rhymes that they can say to help them remember it. For example, I tend to teach my students elephants go bananas drinking Fanta, but other teachers use every good boy deserves fun or every good boy deserves football. It's completely up to you what rhyme you use, as long as it helps you remember. So for example, if we take this note here that has the middle line going through it, you'd work your way up thinking elephants, hasn't got the elephants line going through it, go bananas. So it's a B. So to play a B on a piano, you'd find the B and play that. Same for a recorder. If you saw a note with the middle line going through it, you'd play a B. And the same for violin as well. If you see a note with the middle line going through it, you play a B. So on all these different instruments, because that note had the middle line going through it, it's the same note for all these instruments. It's always a B. So whereabouts on the lines is which note you have to play. Now you might have noticed that these notes look very different to each other. Some are coloured in, some are empty, some of them don't even have sticks. And these are the different kinds of notes. Our coloured in notes are called crotchets. They're worth 1 beat. Our empty notes with sticks are called minims, and they're worth 2 counts. So if you see, for example, a B that's a minim, then you'd play that for 2 counts. 1, 2. Music is a code, and by reading music, you are just learning how to read the code. Our empty note that doesn't have a stick is a semibreve, and that's worth 4 counts. Then we get the notes that are joined together. Our quavers, each one of them is worth half a beat. And our semiquavers, a group of 4, each one of them is a quarter of a beat. The way I tend to teach these is through word association. So for example, if you have a row of quavers, I would say coffee, 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 with coffee being the rhythm of the quavers. For semiquavers, I tend to use cappuccino, and for crotchets, I use tea. When you put them all together, then you're able to read music, because where on the stave is which note you play, and what it looks like is how quickly you play it. So for example, if we had B, but they were semiquavers, then we need to think of our cappuccino rhythm, which would be. So that's how we read basic treble clef, is by looking at where on the stave the note is, relate that to the instrument, and what does the note look like? That tells you how you have to play it. When you put all those things together, then you get comfortable and confident reading music. And for instruments that read treble clef, you can then look at a sheet of music and understand exactly what notes have to be played and how. Here's The Entertainer by Scott Joplin, and this is just me reading simple quavers, semi-quavers and crotchets. Why don't you have a go at finding a piece of music for your instrument and seeing if you can figure out which note is which using face for the space or elephants go bananas drinking Fanta. Don't forget to look out for the different note types as well. Your crotchets, minims, quavers, semi-quavers and semi-breves. Good luck!